Hello everyone, I am Shweta J from Commerce Department, Gopal Swami PU College, Mysuru. In last session, we have discussed about nature and significance of principles of management from the second chapter. In today's session, it is the continuation of the last session. This session starts with the next topic of second chapter, that is FAYOL'S 14 principle. Now let's know about his history. His full name was Henry Fayol. He was born in the year 1841 and he died in the year 1925. A very talented guy, went to an engineering college and got a degree as an engineer, and he started working in a coal mining company. In the year 1888, he was promoted as a managing director of the company. But unfortunately, in that time, the situation of the company was not good. The company was about to close down. The company suffered from the stage of insolvency. But he applied his mind, he applied his managerial techniques, and after the 30 years of experiences of working in the company, he was able to give society a successful coal mining company. Today, you can see in his history, by applying his managerial techniques, he was able to give a successful coal mining company to the society. He bring back the success to the coal mining company. He is also called as father of general management. While developing the 14 principles, Fayol kept two things in his mind. The first one is the list of principles should be very suggestive so that we can easily apply them in most of the situations. The first is the list of the principles should be suggestive. The second is the management principles should be flexible so that we can easily change them according to the nature and requirement of the organizations. Now let's see what are the principles of management he has given for us. The first is division of work, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, subordination of individual interest to group interest, remuneration to employees, centralization and decentralization, scalar chain, order, equity, stability of personnel, initiative and esprit de corps. These are the 14 principles he has given to us. Now let's learn each one of them one by one. The first one, division of work. According to this principle, the whole work should be divided into different parts and each part should be assigned to an individual employee. This is because a single person cannot do whole work. When a person performs the same job repeatedly, he will become an expert in doing that particular job, which means he will earn specialization in his work, and this specialization helps him to increases the efficiency towards his performances. Take for example, a furniture manufacturer gets an order for 100 study tables. Here, furniture manufacturer has 5 workers who will do the job. This order can be completed by following 2 methods. Here there are 2 methods to complete this order. In the first method, every worker should be asked to complete 20 study tables. And in the second method, the whole work which are involved in the study table should be divided into different parts and it should be distributed among 5 workers as legs, polishing, top board, assembling, etc. So here in the second method, every worker, only one worker does the same job for all the 100 study tables. In the second method, only one worker prepare legs for all the 100 study tables and one worker engaged in assembling work for all the 100 study tables. This will be called as division of work. If we adopt this principle in an organization, it will increases the efficiency of the employees and we can easily earn specialization in the job. The next is authority and responsibility. Here first you need to understand the meaning of authority and responsibility. Authority means it is a right, a power to take decision and receive obedience from the subordinates. On the other hand, responsibility means obligation of a person to perform the duties or tasks which are assigned to him. When a particular individual is given a particular work, he is made responsible for the result. And this can be possible only with the help of the authority. This can be possible only when he is given sufficient authority to discharge his responsibility. And keep it in your mind, it is not proper to make a person responsible for any work without the authority. If we assign any duties to the employees, we need to give some of the authority to discharge the responsibility. According to FAYOL, there should be a balance between the authority and responsibility. Which means if it is excess of authority leads to misuse of power. Without authority, responsibility without the authority leads to slaverism. For this reason, we need to balance between the authority and responsibility. According to FAYOL, whenever we use the authority, responsibility are automatically born. Take for example, a CEO of the company has doubled the sales target of the sales manager for coming year. To achieve this target, CEO has to give some of the authority like appointing necessary representative, using strategies or advertising techniques according to the need. If these things are not allowed by a CEO, then sales manager are not held responsible for the work. So for this reason, in an organization, there should be a balance between the authority and the responsibility. If you assign duty to an employee, then you have the responsibility to give some of the authority to discharge the responsibility. The next is discipline. Discipline means adherence to the rules, regulation and commitment for the systematic working in an organization. This discipline can be established in the organization only by providing good supervision at all the levels of the management, whether it may be a top level management, middle level management and low level management, and also clearly explaining the rules and regulation to each and everyone in an organization, and also implementing the system of reward and punishment. So it is very essential. This discipline environment is very essential for improving the quality and quantity of the production in an organization. The next is unity of command. So according to this principle, every individual employee should receive order, instruction only from one boss. Means every individual employee should have only one boss and he has to receive orders, instruction from one boss only. If he is going to receive orders and instruction from two or more bosses, then he get confused. Whose instructions going to be followed, whose guidance going to be followed. He gets confused and it leads to a conflicts among the employees also. So in order to avoid this, according to FAYOL, each and every organization should adopt the principle called unity of command, which leads to effective utilization of the resources as well as we can save the time also. The next is unity of direction. According to this principle, there should be only one head, one plan for group of activities having the common objectives. Take for example, in an organization, as you all know, there are different departments like a production department, purchase department, marketing department and HRM department. Each department should have own managers, should have their own managers, and they are the responsible for their activities. Take suppose sales department. According to this principle, in a department there should be only one head and one plan. This is the responsibility of the supervisor of the respective department. Suppose sales department. In the sales department, the main objective of the sales department is to increasing sales or promotion of the sales. So for promotion of the sales or for increasing the sales, so here it is the responsibility of the manager to formulate the planning as per the need of the department. So according to this principle or unity of direction, here the manager of the department direct their subordinates to work towards the achieving common goal of the organization. That is the meaning of unity of direction. So here unity of command and unity of direction are not one and the same. Unity of command increases the efficiency of the employees in an organization, whereas unity of direction enhances the efficiency of the organization. Here unity of command increases the efficiency of the employees, whereas unity of direction enhances or increases the efficiency of the organization. Under unity of direction, the manager or supervisors direct their subordinates towards achieving common goal of the organization. As you all know, the common goal of the organization is earning more profit, growth and survival in the society. The next is subordination of individual interest to group interest. Here in this point, you can see there are two different interests. One is group interest and the second one is individual interest. So group interest mainly related to the organization. What are the interests of organization? That is nothing but earning more profit, survival or growth in the society. The next individual interest means it is related to the employees. It is also called as personal interest of the employees. What are the personal interest at workplace? So usually each and every employee expects high salary in their organization and recognition at workplace, promotion. Like this, these are the individual interest of the employees. So here individual interest can be achieved only when the organizational interest achieved. So according to this principle, the interest of the organization should take priority over the individual interest. So according to FAYOL, each and every employee in an organization should show their interest towards achieving the organizational objectives, organizational goals than achieving their personal goals. They should know when the group interests are achieved, that the organizational interests are achieved. When the, for example, if company earns maximum profit, automatically company will give high salary to their workers. So this is called subordination of individual interest to group interest. The next is remuneration to employees. So remuneration of Remuneration is also considered as motivating factors in an organization. So according to FAYOL, or according to this principle, each and every organization should pay adequate salary to their workers, and this is the duty of the management also, to pay fair salary to their workers. If they do not pay proper salary for their work, then they do not their work with a proper dedication, with perfect dedication, honesty and capacity, and as a result of this, the organization shall have to face failure. And the amount of remuneration or amount of salary is depending upon the various factors, like demand of the laborers and their ability, and cost of living of the employees, as well as wages or salaries paid by the competitors. Depending upon these factors, organization going to fix the salary to their workers. But according to this principle, organization should pay adequate salary to their workers. Then only we can retain more number of workers in the organization. And the next is centralization and decentralization. So first you need to understand the meaning of centralization and decentralization. Centralization refers to concentration of power in few hands at the top level, whereas decentralization means equal distribution of power at all the levels of the management, which means, so here at the top level, superior or manager the manager should keep the authority to take important decision in their hands, whereas they should delegate the authority of less importance to their subordinates. That is called decentralization. Take for example, the decision in respect of determining objectives, policies, or planning and establishing branches or new companies should remain in the hands of the top level management. They only take the decision regarding those factors. And on the other hand, authority for the purchase of raw material, granting of leave to the employees in an organization should be delegated to their subordinates. By adopting this principle, centralization and decentralization, we can see number of benefits here. So by delegating the less, if manager delegating his authority of less importance to their subordinates, he can save his time and he can concentrate more on important functions of the management, like planning, organizing, staffing and directing. So automatically it will decreases the workload of the superiors. Then he can easily achieve the organizational goals effectively and efficiently. And in the second point, it is possible to take quick and better decision in an organization. And the third benefit is we can see the overall development of the employees or subordinates in an organization. The next is scalar chain. So according to this principle, scalar chain means the chain of superior from the highest rank to the lowest rank. So, and this chain establishes a channel through which communication should be passed, and also it states the relationship between superior and subordinates in an organization. And this chain must be followed by every employee in an organization. If you want to pass any information, if you want to communicate or convey any information in an organization, we have to follow the scalar chain, but it is very lengthy process, a long process and time consuming also. If some important information has to be passed, it gets delayed. So therefore, FAYOL has suggested one more point here, that is shortcut route here, that is gangplank. Gangplank is nothing but it is a shorter route in the scalar chain. What is the meaning of gangplank? It refers to communication between the subordinates working at the same level of authority without following the scalar chain, and this can be used only at the emergency situation in an organization, which means with the help of the gangplank we can easily or directly communicate with each other in an organization. The next is order. It means systematic arrangement of things and persons in an organization. The men, material and other resources should be properly placed. According to FAYOL, there should be a fixed place and each and every resource should be properly placed in an organization. And according to FAYOL, a right person should be placed at the right job and a right thing should be placed at the right place. So then only we can utilize the available resources effectively and efficiently. And the next is equity. So according to this principle, everyone in the organization should be treated equally and impartially. There should not be any discrimination with regard to caste, color, religion, status, etc. If managers do not treat the subordinates equally, then they may get dissatisfied, which leads to decreases in their efficiency. So this doesn't mean that giving equal salary or providing equal salary to all the workers in an organization, but the application of same disciplinary rules irrespective of grade, gender and position. So this is called equity. So in an organization we should treat each and every worker equally and impartially. The next is stability of personnel. So each and every organization should aim at minimizing the employee turnover. Then what is the meaning of employee turnover? Employee turnover is nothing but it is the measurement of number of employees who leave an organization during a particular period. So according to FAYOL, time should be given to a new employee to get adjusted to a new work and succeeded in doing it well. But if he is removed before, then he will not be able to render worthwhile services. So you should give some time to the new employee to get adjusted to a new work. You should not remove them before he render worthwhile services. This is what he said through the stability of the personnel. Initiative means freedom to think out and execute a plan. So that here it is the responsibility of the manager should encourage the feeling of initiative among their subordinates for doing some work and taking some decisions. This will enable them to exhibit new or useful ideas to the organization. This is the responsibility of the manager to give opportunity to their subordinates involved in decision making process. And the last one is esprit de corps. According to this principle, it is the responsibility of the management to develop a feeling of belongingness among the employees. Then as they must feel themselves as members of the organization and contribute maximum to achieve a team's goal. And to do this, each and every manager should use the word we instead of I while communicating with your subordinates. So these are all the 14 principles of Henry FAYOL, and these principles are universal in nature. Since today also we have adopted this principle in all the organization. I hope you have understood this topic. Thank you.